There are some pastor friends of ours who went to pray for a mad person, 2005. Very popular pastor around the Uwelu axis. They went to pray. They succeeded. There were 4 pastors that went to pray. When they got home, the pastor who led them there became mad. Till today is still mad. When they got back home, the one who led the team there is not everywhere I go to pray. One day, some pastor called me and said he wanted me to come and pray with him and so and so place. What did I tell my wife? I said, I'm not going. If God did not tell me go, I don't go. You are not getting me. Life is spiritual. Amen. So you be Amen. So I didn't say all people. Amen. So you be So imagine this sister who paid this man with evil. A man who meant well for her and her family. Imagine her paying him with this evil. And you not think that God is not a just God. The God we are serving is a just God. Everything we do here on earth has reward. There's a reward here, there's a reward in heaven. Whether you like it or not. So what am I saying? I said ingratitude is a product of discontentment. Entitlement mindset is a product of what? Of discontentment. Your father is still alive, your mother is still alive, and somebody is standing in between and is saying that you should give them the honor you are supposed to give to your parents. May that person sleep and not wake up. I say your father is still alive, your mother is still alive, and somebody is standing to reap the fruit of their labor. May that person sleep and not wake up. Hey, worry, I will run. So instead of you to take the advice from your father, you say you have those advising you. So those who are advising you are more experienced than your father who gave birth to you. Are you aware that nobody can actually play the role of your father like the one who gave birth to you? No, let's tell ourselves the truth. Are you aware that nobody can truly play the role of your mother like the one who gave birth to you, carried you in her womb in 9 months, know the pain she felt when she was bringing you forth into this world? So how dare you now feel that you are bigger than them? You know, say, Amira Momo, Amije Momo. No, we are Momera, we may iragmo. Oh, we are Momera. That person here have more money. That person, that very day, the person will sleep and not wake up. It's a prayer you should be praying for yourself, parents. Any man or woman that want to take my place as a father, that want to take my place as a mother in the lives of my children, while I'm still alive, they will sleep and not wake up. Do you know the pains it takes to train children? Do you know the pains? Do you know most times you starve yourself? Most times you have things you wanted to buy. For some weeks now, I've been meaning to go and do shopping for myself because I've been wearing the same clothes, and I like changing clothes. Even my wife. But my children are resuming school tomorrow. Is it not tomorrow? And you know how much their school fees? Not small money. And not only that, I have other responsibilities right now. So tomorrow, not tell me. Because I talk to her anyhow, he not like her. You are no more my father. I will first slap and first correct him face first. Make sense first come. You can't tell me that for all my effort, my labor, most of the time I leave home in the morning, come back home at night. I don't even sleep well because I'm calculating. How do I make sure there's always food at home? How do I make sure these children don't lack? And yet you now come back and bring your man and say, hey my papa, it will be corrected by fire. Now I'm telling you, it is ingratitude that will make you not know the value of your parents. Ingratitude. I always say it. Even in a primary school, your parents manage, put you, say you enter primary school, come out. Be grateful to them. Be grateful to what? There are many sacrifices that parents make for their children that their children don't know because they are young. Talk to me now. I would have been a cripple by now if not for my dad and my mom. Yes, I would have been a cripple. Maybe when I condemn men, you see me coming to church in the morning. Hallelujah. Will you even take me serious first of all? No, now tell me now, when I be disabled, if not that they stood and said, no, I will make some effort. I will try. Some of you, your Moms, even when you see, when I was staying in artillery, I see pregnant women, they will do fasting. I'll be asking myself, this pregnant woman, we suppose they chop all the time. If they fast, I will be wondering, how is it possible? Maybe there's a revelation the prophet saw and say you have to fast. You they get below. I don't see pregnant women they fast. I know what I'm saying. And I will be wondering, how is this woman coping? Do you know most of the time I just look at her and I say, hey, honey, God is your strength. Oh. My wife will wake up in the morning, sweep, cook, wash the dishes. Why me? I am at times early morning I don't come up for house. Bathe the children. My wife woke up very early today. Oh. She woke up before me. Oh. But now she dressed last. Me don't enter car the horn. I'm waiting for you outside. Just to make sure the children are you getting what I'm saying? Parents make effort on a daily basis for their children. So it is ingratitude, it is stupidity for a child to come of age and not give his parents the due honor. The due honor. It is a product of discontentment, which means era no sariye no maso woke. Ije no sariye no yawe we bariana o maso woke. One of my brother one day was making comparison. He was talking to my mother and he was blasting the woman and said, look at this woman. How will you know? Do you think she will stand and things are not okay for the children? She will go to any land. She will travel to anywhere. But you will say you are going to church. It is churchy. It is churchy. Mock her here and there. You say you are going to church. Not knowing that church could be the reason why he's still talking. Do you know that protection, God's protection, is more valuable, is more expensive than anything you can think of? Look at the church, look at the room. A prayer no, I pray now, I pray back where. One of my brother was talking to me one day and said, look, you see, our father who always say, he's praying, he's praying, he's praying. Look at the father of this guy. Is it not the same business we are doing? Why is the father is always going with him? He's always looking out for him. He's always calling him my son. Okay, no wala. But if you come and complain to our father, we tell you, he is praying for you, my son. Prayer changes things. You see, sometimes if God open your eyes to see the effect of those prayers in your life, you will be glad that you have those kind of parents. No, talk to me now. If God open your eye to see the impact of those prayers in your life. When I was going to Kenya, a day to my trip, I came to my father and I said, Baba, I travel. He said, why? He thought I was going to do. I said, no, I'm going to Kenya. He said, where? I said, tomorrow. He said, because we had a marriage ceremony in the house the previous day. He said, okay, come and see me the following day. Come and see me before you leave. I went to my father's house in the morning and he said, Nina, let me pray for you. He prayed for me and I left. If I wanted to leave, he was not giving me money. I said, no, don't worry. Don't worry. I'm okay with the prayer. Do you know on that journey, we were two different pastors that went from Nigeria. I was more honored, I was more favored than the one who went with me. Are you getting what I'm talking about? See, let me tell you, men and brethren. Oh, yeah. I just hope God open some of your eyes to know there are some flocks in the church. They disrespect the advice of their parents and take the advice of their pastor. Somebody say error. Somebody say error. They are taking their pastor as their spiritual father and as their biological father. So they don't get their papa and they exist. He just they know they exist, not they. So Agba Inaya Kogi Roma Omugi pastor. Somebody say error. This church is not that kind of church. Me, I will tell you the raw truth. If you like, come out. Error. When you don't know the effort of the parents of that child, of that sister, of that brother, till he has come of age, you now say you want to now be reaping where you did not sow. Hey, my daughter, Pastor Kola, I need 300 euro now. There's some prayer we need to do for you. Igoma go or ya momo or sending a pastor. Ira akole la bi me. Mary I na gbesi. Aba iwe de ro ni ah, eya wa me no je. Somebody say error. Error. Call us here. Egbe ma na ye hospital. Ya ke iwe na. Igwe egbe me ma me no de me momo. But let one prophet call her now say, "Imi we wekpeti." Baba. Okay. Inigo no baba. 500 euro. O ma baba. La the account re. Somebody say error. Ingratitude. Not knowing that even when you take care of your parents, that is even enough to avert some challenges from your way. Are you getting what I'm talking about? Do you know that when you make your parents happy, things will begin to fall in place for you? Even if they don't open your mouth to pray for you. Hello? Even if your parents don't pray for you, making them happy alone is a blessing. Men and brethren, let's practice gratitude. See, practice it. The same way you practice good morning, good afternoon. Practice, make deliberate efforts to be grateful to people. You see why it's difficult for some of you to worship God? Let me be very honest with you. Some of you, when they say worship God, you have not really seen any particular reason why you should worship God. That is why it's difficult. If you know, like people like us, me, if I want to pray, I remind myself of what God did for me yesterday in the place of prayer. I remind myself, I bring to my remembrance what God did for me yesterday. And I'll say, Father, if not for you, this would not have happened. Learn to appreciate people. Practice it. Be intentional about it. Hello. That is how contentment starts. God will bless you, sir. You see, that appreciation alone, it will open doors for more. Even if it's not that person that will not give you more. But those who see it, even if people are not seeing it, God in heaven sees how appreciative you are of that little thing. Do you know more doors will open? I round off with this. One of my friends who God has used to really help me in life. At the time we had issues and people were lying to him. A whole lot happened actually. So we had a fight. And even in the midst of our fight, some people came to me advising me and say, do this one, do that one. Make sure his company folds up. Make sure you close this. Make sure you announce him. Make sure you spoil his business. Make sure you do it. I looked around. All those were advice people were giving because they felt that I was treated unjustly. Because they felt that, this guy would not have listened to the people. This guy has been with you. This guy started this thing with you. So I was receiving so many advice. Be careful whose advice you receive when you are bittered. When somebody offends you, be careful who advises you because it matters. And so I was receiving so many advice from people here and there. And one day I sat in my room. I said, yes, this man has offended me. Yes, he didn't treat me well. Yes, if not for me, this would not have happened. I said, but if not this man that God used, maybe I will still be in one room. But if not this man that God used, maybe I will not be an employer of labor today. But if not this man that God used, maybe I wouldn't have started my own business today. But if not this man that God used, maybe I wouldn't have this wealth of knowledge that I have in business today. But if not this man that God used, maybe this church, this auditorium will not be here today. It is a man that God uses to wipe away the tears of men. A man. And so when I started reminding myself of those things, I picked my phone and called him. And said, I just want to appreciate. That day he was expecting maybe when I call him another gbege. Because me, I like gbege anyhow. He was expecting maybe when I call him another gbege, we want gbege. I just called him in the night. I said, bros, I just said, make I thank you. You don't really help me well. God don't use you well. As I was speaking, I believe you will be wondering what has happened to what has happened to this guy. Because I know him. I just want to tell you, say, I really appreciate all your effort Thank you very much. God go bless you. Take note, when this happened, I was still in rent. Though I had bought my house, but there was no money to complete the house. But I was not looking out for money from him. That day I just came to my senses and said, no, what you are doing is wrong. If at all. If at all. I brought it to my remembrance. And I said, no problem, no problem. About a few weeks later, he called me and said, hey, that place we used to back up. You see how the God? I said, yes, it's okay, no problem. Send me your account. Started pumping money. And you say, hey, this one we are buying. Take 300,000 for yourself. Take 400. This one, take 500. Get or make sure that you get your commission. No. Now in business, now in company, I they buy things for. Now you be your guy, but you know the Nigeria. He go tell me say, ask so and so money for yourself. They go approve and send me the money. They don't know what they happen now between me and them. And I started completing my house, finished my house, entered. This same man, because of how close he is to me and the kind of mark God has used him to make in my life, I named him after my third son. That's the name I gave to my third son. Because I always want to remind myself of how God used him to bless me. I named my first son after my dad because of the role my dad has played in my life. Men and brethren, I say practicalize it, be intentional. Many of you don't know that my dad's first name is Michael. That's the name I gave to my son. My dad was surprised when I named my son Michael. Men and brethren, why am I telling you this? I am telling you this because when we learn to be appreciative, things will be better for us. When we learn to be appreciative, all this die by fire, die by fire. There will be no need for some of those prayers. I'm telling you the honest truth. Some of you, it is ingratitude that has brought you to the level you are. I wear this I say with 30 years. I beg you. Let him go. You see, you are braggadocious, you are foolish, and you are myopic. Braggadocious, foolish, and myopic. Men and brethren, can we stand to our feet? We'll continue from next Sunday.